Let's talk about water filters. Let's talk about the Grayl. Let's talk about First Need. Let's talk about Sawyer. I have a lot to unpack in this video, and it's probably going to be a little bit long. But if you really want to understand what water filters are and what they do, then you're going to want to watch this whole thing from beginning to end. It's probably going to save your life then. First things first, a lot of people use this Sawyer. Sawyer makes two versions. They make a large one, which is this one, and they make a mini. The mini's garbage. It plugs up quickly. You will be not able to filter water if you get the mini. Don't even buy it. This is the large one. Sawyer is questionable about their business. Sawyer sells a snake bite kit to suck poison out of you. And I see the odd person still buying them, and I'm just shaking my head. They don't work. It's a scam. Think about it. If a snake bites you, even if I had that kit right there, and I grabbed it and put it on there within a second and started sucking, that's already halfway up my arm, that venom. And any doctor will tell you the same. You get bit by a snake, don't panic. Get to the hospital. And that's it. Everything you've seen on TV, from cutting the wound, sucking on the wound, it's all lies. It just looked good for the camera. Okay? So if Sawyer's willing to sell a snake bite kit, then are they not a questionable company that a person really doesn't want to trust when they're willing to do that? Which would mean, if a person lies to you, do you just believe them, or do you actually not believe a person lies? People are quite strange. If you give them enough marketing, they'll believe anything. Government does it all the time. Then you got this one, a stereo pen. Ever heard of that? This you put two batteries in. Okay. You turn it on. You got an ultraviolet light in here, and then you start turning it inside your water for a good minute or so. And now it kills all the pathogens. I used it once. I just didn't feel confident enough to use it all the time. Cleaned it up, put it on the shelf, and that's where it sits. I did a video on Sawyer against First Need with putting dye through it. The dye flowed right through here. First Need stopped the dye. Now there's something to consider about filter. They are rated by microns. So a Sawyer, it says, is 0.1 microns. That's really good. The First Need is 0.4 microns. But wait a minute. These are bigger microns than the Sawyer. So why is it when I put the dye through, it took the dye out, but with the Sawyer it didn't? Are they lying? I'd really like to see independent people test these and actually see what they come out with, because it would be nice to nail these companies and say, why did you lie about that? And that would be interesting. Grayl has lied. Grayl actually says on their website, it says, testing standards independent, tested by certified laboratory to meet or exceed NSF, ANSI protocol 42 and 53 for pathogens. Yet if you go to the NSF website, they have a place where it says there is no such thing that NSF has tested that product. Grayl is lying. I'll have a link to it. Go check it out. Read it. So here we go again. If Grayl's lying about that, then what else are they lying about? Everything's nothing but marketing and money. Now you'll see some filters that say, oh, we gave, 200 filters to people in Africa. Right? Is what they'll say. And then that's just the feel-good bug. That's just to make you feel good that they gave filters to them. Well, ask yourself, of course they're going to take those filters. They're free. Oh, what are they going to filter it with? Sand? They got nothing. They don't care what filter's given to them. You can give them a filter with a bunch of toilet paper in it, they'll take it. See that? 200 people in that drive are filtering our toilet paper filter. Give me a break. It's such bullshit. It just blows my mind away. And you got to have an open mind and start reading and looking at how they test them and what they do to really understand what's going on. How do you tell if a Grayl filter needs to be changed? On their website, it says you need to push down, and if it takes more than 25 seconds, well, it's time to change it. Wow, that's scientific, eh? I mean, what if I'm stronger than you? Oh, yeah, I did it in 10 seconds. Or what if I'm a little 90-pound woman? Oh, I can't move it. Oh, time for a filter change. Really? Do you know how you test first need? You get some food coloring, you push the dye through, and if it comes out with the dye, it's time to change the filter. If it's still clean water, your filter's good. Everything about first need is just amazing. Now, don't let the brand newness here and the shininess fool you. My hose was going yellow. I changed that out. I changed the microfilter out. And this is a brand new filter in here, is what it is. Everything about this filter, you can buy the parts separately. I had it for over 3 years, and then I went and bought some parts and changed them out. The other thing about first need to understand, this will filter on multiple bottles. Just screw it on. That's it. And then start pumping. It's very easy to use. I have video of filtering the blue dye out. I have video of cutting one of these open. I have video of using it in the river. I have all kinds of video on this. The other thing about this is there was one time I was out and I filtered water when I was camping. And then when I got home 3 days later, on the news, somebody had died upriver. So literally, I was filtering their decayed body. I've seen videos of people on the Appalachian Trail where some girl would bend over and just pee off into the river. And I was like, are you kidding me? There's nasty people out there. That's all there is to it. You don't know what's going to go on. But if this is letting dye through, well, it's definitely going to let the urine through, right? Or dead people juices. Nasty, right? If this is filtering out the dye, this is the one I want to use. The problem is $40, $50 for this, $200 for this. And that's what turns everybody away. This is one of those products that you buy once, cry once, and you're going to be glad you did. And that's all there is to it. You know, I've bought a lot of things in my life, and this has never been a disappointment. Even people in my comment sections, when they've seen I've tested these, have put down in the comment section that how they've taken it to places like Asia and that when they travel to filter the water right out of a motel room, where, you know, bottled water is very expensive. But they take this and they've never gotten sick. I wouldn't do that with SARS. I'll tell you that right now. No way. So, is Grayl all cut out to be what it is? I was going to buy one. I really was. But if the filter doesn't filter out food coloring, it's a total waste of money. The other thing I don't like about Grayl from watching their videos is I got to sit there and I got to put down and I got to push on it. I don't like that. Not at all. Where with first need, I could be sitting in a chair. I just throw this in the pre-filter and start pumping and boom, water comes out. It's nice and easy to do. It's not hard. That's the wonderful thing about it. Really consider what filter you're buying. Now, another thing about Sawyer, and where Grayl has this going for it, and First Need, is that if you come to a pond, say it smells like fish, probably going to taste like fish. If you filter that water through a Sawyer, yes, it'll be fine to drink, and it's been filtered. But when you go to drink it, it's going to taste like rotten fish. You can drink it, but you're not going to want to. Now, I brought out this platypus to show you. Never used this one. Because I ended up getting first need later. But you'll notice this is the same design as the Sawyer, so I'll bet you it's got little straws in there. And the difference is they added a charcoal filter on the back end. It's what they did over here. So if I was to filter with this through that fishy pond, then when it goes through the charcoal filter, it would now remove that smell and that taste. That's the nice thing about it. Now, most people that hike the Appalachian Trail swear by Sawyer, but understand something. I know guys that have hiked the Appalachian Trail with no filter. They just are very careful what they drink. They see a spring or they see the running river. They go, oh, yeah, that's good enough. But if they see water sitting, no, I'm going to keep going until I find cleaner water. So, is that really working, or was the water fine in the first place? So many things that'll question you in your brain. That's the thing. But when it comes to filtering water, I love my first need. I don't care. They could charge $500 for that, and I'd still buy it. And that's all there is to it. I have never found a better filter. People keep trying to invent them, but they never. You ever heard of the Life Straw? There's another one. There was a guy I know. He put his Life Straw in his front pocket of his combat pants, and we were hiking together, and he fell down, lost his balance, and he hit his leg up against a rock when he went down. When he opened it and pulled it out, it was all in pieces. I looked at him, and I kind of giggled, and I said, well, that was a good place for the Life Straw. He looked at me and said, shut up. He said, I'm going to have to borrow your first need. I said, no problem. Life Straw didn't do him any good, did it? He wasn't thinking, maybe I should put that someplace safe. Maybe I should have a container for it. Wintertime comes, and this is wet, and I don't care what filter it is, and you leave this in your knapsack, and it freezes and cracks. That's it. You're going to get infected. It's useless now. And that's very important to understand. My filter in the wintertime, it sits in the bottom of my sleeping bag, and then when I'm walking, it's inside my coat. It's inside here, is where it's against my body. There is no way I'm going to let that thing freeze. No way. And you don't hear a lot of people talking about that. You can't just shove everything in your backpack. Batteries, filters, go where the heat is. And that's all there is to it. Or else you'll learn the hard way. You know, and when you're 20 miles out and you get the shits, that's not too bad. Pain, you take some Imodium. But all of a sudden you get cramps in the stomach and that, you will literally be rolled up in a ball screaming bloody pain in that tent. Ever see a woman when she goes through her menstruation? A lot of women have no problem. But then there's women out there that curl up in a ball on a bed screaming. That's what's going to happen to you. And it's not going to be fun. So some gear is expensive, but having proper gear is very, very important. So why do I have a Sawyer? Actually, I have 3 of these. I put these Sawyers in my get-home bags, go bags, stuff like that. I have one in my truck. They've never been used. And as long as you never used them, then they're never going to freeze or crack, right? It's my emergency item for getting home. I'm not going to filter water from some gross pond. I'm going to do like the people on the Appalachian Trail. I'm going to look for the cleanest water I can find, and because I live in Tennessee, water's everywhere, then I would actually filter it to get my butt home. But if it only takes me a day to get home, and let's say I did use this in some questionable water, and I did get sick, well, I'll already be home when I did. Because it's not going to take me more than 24 hours. So these are things you have to consider. And it's very, very important. Don't think you're going to use this after a flood when the water's got feces in it, gasoline, diesel, and all this other stuff. This is useless. Don't think you're going to boil it. Useless. You know, if I was in a situation like that I would filter it with my first need. I would then hit it with my stereo pen. Then I would boil it. Then I'd cool it. And then I'd probably drink it and hope for the best. But that's the only route I would go. So you be the judge. And Grayl? I don't know. I see more of a marketing product than a for real product that if something goes wrong, I'm going to get very sick very quickly. I was going to buy a Grayl, but $100 for now another filter, sit on the shelf, only to use first need, didn't make sense. Grayl wants to send me one. Hey, knock yourself out. I'll take it, but I'll tell you, it will get properly tested, and we'll see. And if I don't like it, I'll tell you. But the idea of pressing water and pushing my guts out, and I don't know. It's just not something I want to do. First need is real easy to pump. Like I said, I have videos and all that. I'll link them up in the bottom. Check them out. If it don't filter dye, then it's not worth it in my opinion. Catch you guys on the next one.